Okay, so what is this game? In a nutshell, it is a survival city builder roguelite. It is actually kind of stated to be a roguelike, but I am one of those pedantic people that feels that there is a difference between those two things. But this is definitely roguelite. It's definitely in the kind of meta progression territory. You're expected to lose or to win a game, but it will unlock progression that you can then take into other games. One of the main ways of progression will be ascended dice. Don't have any yet. Not really done much with this. Just to reiterate, again, for those of you who may be joining from having watched my first taste on YouTube, this is going to be a completely fresh save. You can have multiple saves, which is actually quite nice. That's our current first taste save, and it may even become an extended first taste if there are enough likes or interest on the video on YouTube. But we will be starting a new game. We've got 2 unlocked rulers right now. That's another way that the progression happens. But you can basically ascend your dice and take them with you. You can change the dice within the game, and that is how you become stronger for each successive run. It's quite an important one there. It's an Aavak first taste of this. How did I not know this until now? Well, to be fair, it only went live a couple of hours ago because that's when the embargo stopped. But we're going to jump into the game. This is it can be a turn-based game depending on the way the difficulty level. You can have a pause, but you can't do anything while paused. So it's very much the pause is there to let you think, rather than to let you do anything. We only have 1 of the scenarios unlocked. This is a full release, by the way. This was available in a kind of beta state a couple of weeks or months ago. But this is going to be the full release. Tomorrow the game releases, and it's the whole thing. We're going to be starting on Stranded. This is the main scenario. I've got 2 rulers. I've got the Mad, and I've got the Stranded King. We'll be playing with the Stranded King. The Mad is a little bit more complex, and we'll see how that goes. But the Stranded King, one of the many survivors of the shipwreck, yet the only one with a crown on his head. When people turned to him, he led, and so he was made into a king by fate. We'll start with 5 food, 4 wood, 2 stone. This is important. Over here, we've got the Mad. Just so that you know, we've got a total of 6 rulers. I don't know if that gets expanded in any way. Again, I've only really played a part of the tutorial, so there's going to be a lot of stuff that I'm not actually aware of, but I will do my best to guide you through the whimsy of this land, and there is a lot of whimsy in it. The Mad Ruler, an alchemist called to assist the king in his cause, who found a convenient avenue to quench his insatiable desire for knowledge. Starts with 3 food, 4 wood, 2 knowledge, no stone, but can start with the enchantment chamber unlocked, which is a technology you would normally have to learn about. Each ruler will have a special ability, which will trigger when a specific set of die faces are rolled in the die pool. So if I were to roll a bunch of die, and I got out of that entire pool 2 builders, 2 gatherers, and 2 workers, it would trigger the King's Into the Blizzard ability. The Mad would need to see 4 knowledge faces be rolled. Peasants don't have knowledge faces, and I believe the Mad starts with 2 citizen dice. So they do have knowledge faces, but it wouldn't necessarily trigger. You can replace 2 of the dice out of the main pool that any ruler starts with ascended dice. So that's a big part of the progress that you'd have. Aavak, thank you very much for the 3 months. 3rd month, 2nd best month. Diolch yn fawr. And Dacho, thank you so much for the whole year of support. It's great to be here. Finally caught a stream. Well, I'm very glad you did. I will try to vary my stream times a little bit so that more peeps can catch them. Skull Ghost, how you doing, mate? I almost missed your resub there. Thank you so much for the 71 months. Always wonderful to see you in chat. How are you going? And we've got a friendly ghost in chat as well, who just gifted a 3-month tier 1 sub to a Ginger from Gallifrey. I see someone is a fan. I mean, are they a fan of particularly Gingers from Gallifrey, or would any of the Time Lords do? One does have questions. Well, given their regenerative qualities, maybe all Time Lords are gingers at one point or another in their myriad lives. Hey, Matt Edge, how you doing, buddy? Thank you so much for the 15 months. Do I watch Aavak play Dice Legacy on YouTube first, or watch now on Twitch? Well, I'm going to be explaining the game through here, but if you do, so you can happily stay and catch it live, but if you do, and you want to catch up with the game that's going on YouTube, they will be separate games, and depending on how much interest there is, we may well see it turn into a bit of a series on YouTube for a bit. Okay. Aavak, just start your weekly 168-hour stream. That way, we won't miss it. No. Oh, I watched Reto's videos on the early version of this game. Glad to see it's finally coming to full release. I know, right? I don't know. I've got a bit of a. It's not so much a love-hate relationship with early access. It's just it is nice when you play a lot of early access to occasionally get a full release where you know that it isn't gonna abruptly end at some point or have unresolved bugs. The story will be complete, you know, so on and so forth. All of the polish will be there. Hi Aavak, I'm good. Always enjoy lurking in your streams. Well, hello mate. I hope you enjoy it tonight as well. Okay, so the difficulty down here, now these are probably the more important parts, is the first two difficulties, Pacifist and Standard, will give you the ability to pause the game. If you go to Legacy, which, by the way, is stated the way the experience was envisioned, Hard or Extreme, you will not have pause. Given that we may be answering questions on this, since the game isn't out yet, so we'll err on the side of caution. There were a lot of hands in the initial show of hands, so I'm going to leave tutorial on, and I'm going to go with standard difficulties so I can pause it, and we can answer questions without time ticking down, because time is... It is something you need to be very aware of in this game. With the pause, it's not too bad, and you do have time controls, but time ticks on, and the seasons matter. Winter is harsh, so you need to be prepared for it. But with all of that said and done, I think we're ready to begin. Do you think we're ready to begin, chat? I think we are. I've been waiting for this game to come out after I watched Splat play it like a month ago. Yeah, no, a couple of people caught it in a beta stage. I'm not sure how much Splat played it, if he met the aforementioned abrupt halt in content, or how much it's changed since then, but let's jump in and begin a proper. Passing policies of one class might anger another. It typically does, actually. Unless you've only got one class, or only one class suggested policies, but I don't think that happens too often. Time and Tide waits for no Aavak. Very true. Dice Legacy is a purely game set in a world where winters are harsh, dangers are many, and mysteries are plenty. Experiment, be tenacious, be courageous. Soak in this visual atmosphere, chat. It is gorgeous. The first time I played the tutorial, I didn't notice that was a steampunk ship. It's just... everything about this is amazing. Also, pay close attention, all of those buildings over there. I imagine we need to get up there, and that's part of the progression. Also, there's two camps along the way. We could see the little flames here and there. The intro is absolutely gorgeous. Like, it is dripping style. Right, first steps. Dice are your workers. Each die belongs to a dice class, indicated by its color. The upward face of a die indicates the actions it can perform. Now, as standard, every class is the same. Like, two dice of the same class are completely the same, except as you progress through the game, you can modify them. But coming out of the gate, they are all the same. All peasants have the same faces. All citizens, all merchants, all monks, and all soldiers. They have faces that are unique to their class, but otherwise they are the same. So 2 soldiers, exactly the same faces on the die. Spacebar to roll the dice. Rolling a die consumes its durability. This number here. Now, pay special attention to where the number is. This one is clearly not on the die. It's just kind of hovering there. But there will sometimes be little numbers next to the die that are actually on the face of the die, kind of imprinted in it. And that is the power of that face. We'll cover that when we get to it. I'll more or less allow the tutorial to do the talking here, though. If the durability of the die falls below 0, I completely missed that below part of the first time in the first taste. And I was worried about it hitting 0, but it can get to 0. It's just that if you let it go below 0, dead dice. And this dice represents your people. You can lock the die so that you can't roll it and thus reduce its durability, and that it will come in super handy. Right, it wants us to lock a dice. Let's go ahead and lock this dice. It wants us to roll a dice. It also wants us to grab a dice and place one down. As you can see around the world, there are interaction spots, and these are going to be ultra important to us. We are going to probably start grabbing some wood from there, and I kind of want to lock this dice as well. I don't need any soldier dice right now. Look, a little peasant down there. And sadly, you can't zoom in. You can't move the camera. It feels like a crime that I can't have a better look at this beautiful place. But our perspective is kind of set, and we just kind of roll around the path of the ring world. But there you go. Right, complete the cookhouse. I need a builder dice for that. For now, I'm going to place this down. I will showcase the details of this, like that little X in the corner and the differences between the various faces, but right now I'm gonna wait until here we go. Here the tutorial will start explaining parts of it. Locations are generated at the start of the game. Dice can be employed inside a location to gather resources, but this consumes the durability of the location. When the durability of a location reaches 0, the location is destroyed. Going to be an important thing to bear in mind is there are some locations which will synergize with buildings that we make, and as long as the thing isn't gone, that building will still function. So for example, a forest could be down to durability 1. As long as we never took that last durability, it still functions as a forest tile, and so a herbalist hut built next to it can harvest from it. But if we hover over them, you'll see that big red number, well, white number in a red die-like shape. That is the durability of the location. Right, let's roll this. When a dice has done a job, it will become exhausted. And you need to just roll it again. There we go, we've got a builder. Let's pop it down here. I can't do anything with this die. Exhausted die can't be utilized in any fashion at all. Continue. We've got a hunting ground over there. Sure, I'll start grabbing some things from there. Bamboo Bazooka. Hey, Aavak and Chad, just popping in as I'm working. Hope you all have a good stream, and I'll probably pop back later. Okay, Bamboo Bazooka, it'll be great to see you. And Bamalo, thank you very much for the Prime sub for the 7th month. Well played indeed. Putting my Prime skills to shame, as always. Hey, Duffelfish. Hey, what's this? An Aavak stream at a reasonable time? Is hell frozen over or something? Well, I mean, depending on which faith you ascribe to. Hell is cold, not hot. Can you boost the durability, Aavak? Yes. Well, of locations, I'm not sure. Maybe. I don't know. There is a tech tree, and I've not really looked that deep into it, so it might be something that we can do later on. You can feed dice to increase dice durability, though. But locations, I don't know about. When die completes a job, it becomes exhausted. Maybe I am a die. Maybe we all are, Manticore. Use the build menu to construct new buildings. Buildings have different requirements and resources. Some buildings require to be unlocked through the tech tree. Buildings can be demolished and you get some of the resources back. They can catch fire or go on strike. I mean, I wouldn't necessarily say the building just caught fire or the building went on strike. I would mostly say someone set fire to the building or someone is striking outside of the building, thus making it inaccessible to me. Right, let's have a look. We've got some more that we can grab. These food crates will do well. Let's continue to clear the area. I am going to want more. We need to build a house. Okay, let's have a look at what that's going to require. A house only requires 6. Now I'm going to pause it there just to cover some things. When you're building a building, you can see on the map where you're going to place things. You've got these little dots. It's in a pattern. Now, adjacency is a pretty big thing in this game. Obviously, the first time you play, you're not necessarily going to know what buildings exist and what adjacencies are going to be important. So, you know, just go however you like. But generally speaking, building working buildings around a clear central area will be useful in the long term. Primarily because you're going to want a district hall there. We can build a house. Certain buildings are going to increase efficiency. For example, if I look at these buildings, pretty much everything has an efficiency. Efficiency just dictates how fast people can work there. For example, the mine has a 60-second work time. If I had one building that increased its efficiency by 1 chevron, it would increase it by 25%, which would mean it would only take 45 seconds to do. That's actually a massive saving. Again, time matters in this game because we've got seasons. Down here, this building does have that little chevron, so it's got plus 25% efficiency, so it's going to take a little less time. The cookhouse allows us to raise the durability of a die. This building, our town hall, our realm will crumble if this town hall is destroyed. This projects an area of increased efficiency around it. Let's go ahead and build a house, and we might as well build it right here. There we go. Now that house is automatically gain efficiency, so it means that when building it, it's also going to have efficiency. You can't do anything while paused. I was able to lay the building down, but I couldn't re-roll the dice, for example, or anything like that. Let's go ahead and continue clearing up the shipwrecks so that we've got some more room. You don't need to specifically wait to have a handful of die before you re-roll them. There's no particular benefit to that. You're not going to be useful to me right now, so I'm going to re-roll you. You can just re-roll as often and as aggressively as you like, frankly. Re-rolling for 1 die, even though you've got like a handful that are like only a couple of seconds away, is perfectly fine, because waiting those couple of seconds is just wasting the time that you could have been employing that die. I am making out as if time is absolutely critical and a second lost is a travesty. It's not. I'm just trying to get a lot of things done because I know I'm going to be a little bit slower because I'm chatting with chat and answering questions. So if you're the sort of player who would be put off by the idea of time being, like I said, a second wasted is a travesty, don't worry. You can pause. You can just let time tick by on the lowest speed. It's not an issue. Especially once you've kind of settled your initial city and your initial supplies for survival, mainly a source of food. Don't worry about it. It's not that frenetic. There is a bit of strategy, and time does matter, but it's not a be-all, end-all. You can be slow if you want to be. The die don't die. They just have a lie down. Forever, yes. Balsamon, Father of Lies. Thank you very much for the 4 months. Hey, Aavak, just dropped in to resub, but can't stay long. I'll watch the VODs later. Absolutely, mate. I hope you enjoy them. Right. Now, this is going to take us 22 seconds to build. The house will allow us to make more die. The peasants will have baby peasants. Right now, well, actually, the tutorial is going to explain a little bit more about classes in a moment, but these are the 5 classes that you get at the top here. We don't need a worker. We want gatherers more than anything else, and we want a lot of wood. We've got a little bit of stone. The stone area will allow us to get gold every now and then when we harvest from it. The hunting grounds will give us food. The meadows over here will give us herbs, and the iron area will give us iron and a small chance of gold, and the trees will obviously give us wood. Right, slot types. There we go. Here's a bit of really important information. Locations and buildings can have different requirements in terms of resources, dice, faces, and classes. Also, the results provided by a location can be influenced by the power of the face employed. The power is what I was talking about, the little number that is part of the dice, not kind of overlaid. The durability is overlaid, but the power is kind of carved into the dice. This would accept only builder faces. Now notice it says faces, not specifically class of the dice itself. This would accept only a gatherer face, but the result is multiplied by the face power. This would allow us to obtain more resources faster. I'm not sure, I haven't for scienced, whether this decreases the durability of the location by the same amount. If this means that you could harvest for 1 durability more wood from a forest, this would be an enormously important thing. Dacho, thank you very much for gifting a sub there to Milky Crown. That's really, really kind of you. Diolch yn fawr. The 5 classes: Wizard, Warrior, Cleric, Proletariat, and Capitalist. No. Though glorious, but no. Do rogues count as capitalist? I would say that rogues count as capitalist, yeah. It depends, I guess, where they sit in the alignment grid. This is coloured, so it will only accept a peasant with any face, but I imagine you could possibly have ones with a face and a class, so it would have to be a face on a specific class of die. But this is the that is specifically the peasant, whereas this the class, whereas this is specifically the face, and that is going to matter later on when you can have die that are a hybrid of multiple classes. This one accepts any navigator face, but the result is based on chance and influenced by face power. The higher the power, the higher the chance for a better outcome. So the percentage is a bit variable. You could still end up with a bad roll even if you had a lot of power, and you could still end up with a good roll even if you had very little. This will literally accept anyone. It doesn't care. This accepts a specific resource, and in this case, food. And that is going to matter a bit. Let's re-roll the die. Right, now, I would like some peeps, so please give me the peeps. Our new quests: build a wheat farm, build a mill, build a district hall. Here's a tip. Build the wheat farm near the district hall that you're going to make. Also, make sure that the district hall can access other things. Now, obviously, I'm going into this with a little bit of foreknowledge, so I'm going to be planning the positions of my various buildings with that in mind. The first district hall is probably going to be down here, so that a building can be next to the district hall right there, and that building will be able to access these forests. You'll notice that I'm pretty much only going for this forest. I may bring these ones down a little bit, but I won't take them down that far. We want to continue grabbing some stone. Right, so building the district hall is next up. District hall is going to require more wood. Okay, well, we'll start working on that. In fact, let's get you in there right now. I want to clear this out because I want to build a building here that's going to have synergy based on proximity to the items there. I don't really care for you. Sure, we'll go ahead and... Well, it doesn't really matter too much if I pull this down as long as I don't destroy them. And since wood is really the limiting factor for me right now, we'll focus on that. Cloud9, thank you very much for the subscription. Second month, best month. You were here for a month and you decided to come back. Thank you ever so much. Happiness. Your actions can affect the happiness of dice classes in various ways. When a dice class is pleased, it will provide a powerful positive effect. When a dice class is angry, it will provide a dangerous negative effect that can threaten the kingdom. Many actions can lower or increase happiness of a dice, such as obtaining or losing dice of that class, passing and refusing policies, establishing class district halls, constructing and losing buildings within a class district hall, and more. If too many die belong to an unhappy dice class, a riot could start. A dice class will continue to exist as long as there is at least one face. Again, really pay attention to when it says dice versus when it says face. As long as there is one face of that class, the class exists. Even if you've got a die which is 5 faces soldier, 1 face peasant, and that's the only peasant face in your entire die pool, the peasant class will exist as a result. So that is super, super important. Peasants, the backbone of our society, capable of doing a bit of everything. They can work a little bit. They are double gatherers, builders, swords, and navigators. They're mostly gatherers, though. You can produce new peasant dice from a house. When they're pleased, they gather extra resources. When they're angry, they may set fire to your buildings. So, inherent pyromaniacs. Glorious. Right, I would like both of you to get me more baby die. No, I don't need any fighters. I do need some more wood, though. I don't need any navigators. I would like some more stone. We're going to need some more food reasonably fast as well. Durability is starting to get low. Let's have a look at this. If the durability of a die falls below 0, again, it's stressing this, and I completely missed that previously. The die will perish. Durability can be restored inside the cookhouse. You feed them food, they get more durability. The amount of durability they gain is based on the on various researches, but they do have a maximum durability, and that can change depending on things. The dice can become ultra individual. All die are born equal in this game. But with research, the die will start being born... The new die will be born equaler than the old die, and with certain other things, the die can be very, very much more equal than all of the other die of its class. You will end up making die that you really care about. Initially, every peasant is exactly the same. With a little bit of research, new peasants will be slightly better. But eventually, you're going to get ultra peasants who you've dumped a load of training into, and maybe you've also, I don't know, hybridized them with a soldier. And that die is going to matter. And if you lose it, you will be sad. An Amazing Girl, thank you so much for the 56 months. Welcome back. It's wonderful to see you in chat. Also, how you doing, Akira Dragonborn? I need more baby die. I mean, taken out of context, that can mean all sorts of things, yeah. But I didn't say babies to die, so you can't take it in that context. I mean, the most obvious one to me, and perhaps this is due to the smurfing policy on the Dabberdell Discord, is I need more baby die. Is probably juicing the babies to get the a nice shade of baby, and then you can just like dump a bucket of baby dye on people to make them a nice shade of baby. I don't know, but that's where my brain went. Darska, thank you very much for the second month there again. Another second month best month. Welcome back. Yeah, all dice are equal, just some dice are equal to more than one of the other dice. Yeah, pretty much. Okay, right. Someone said 50 Shades of Baby, and my brain literally hard rebooted itself for a second there. I do apologize that I was about to say something and then just stopped, but I'm actually on board with my brain just saying nope to wherever my incredibly powerful and easy to manipulate imagination was going to go. I'm very glad that my brain immediately hit the emergency shutdown button on that one. How dare you even bring that into my chat, you scallywag. My lord. Dangerous words. Right, let's continue with the harvesting of the trees. I don't need to pop anyone down there. We do need to grab a little bit more food, though. Right, at this point, I think we've got enough to start looking to build a district hall and a farm. A farm in particular is going to be important because we can only use the farm in the summer. Yeah, so there's the district hall, but to give you an idea now of all the buildings. Now, these aren't all the buildings that there are. These are just the buildings that I've researched and have access to right now. There are lots of buildings. There's too many tabs there are that many buildings. But we want production, we want wheat farms. We want mills, because wheat is not food. Wheat is wheat. You can make food out of wheat, but until you do, it's just wheat. Herbalist farm, that is, herbalist hut, that's what we want to place there. So with that in mind, the district hall is going to go here so that this becomes a part of the area. Now, I could place this down here and have these a part of the district. Maybe I could, because ultimately I could have another district hall somewhere over here that has a herbalist hut next to it. Maybe we've got a couple of options. Though that being said, the district hall, if we have a look, expands territory and increases efficiency nearby. Can be upgraded into a class district hall. We are going to want to upgrade it to a class district hall. If I build it down here, I'm not going to get any new territory. That white border is the territory that I'm going to expand into. Building it here will mean that these two buildings get double efficiency. Building it here will still mean, will not mean these ones get it, but this building right there will get double efficiency. Plus, I'll be able to access a couple of other buildings around here. If I build it up here, which is, I imagine, what the game really wants me to do, but you are talking to Sequence Breaker Aavak right now, then we would expand our territory out and could investigate a little bit more. But I would actually recommend building it just off to the side a little bit, because if you build in the middle, you're going to end up with fog of war in these areas, and you're going to have to expend a lot more in order to gain access to those than you might want. So I'd recommend just popping one down just to the side and then another one over there at some point. This one could still work the way I want with the herbalist hut as well, so might be worth it. Okay, we're going to pop that down. Efficiency determines how fast a building or location operates. District halls provide an efficiency bonus to every building and location nearby. Your town hall also provides efficiency bonuses nearby. And exploration. You can interact only with locations and buildings that are within your territory. You can expand your territory by using district halls. To do so, place a district hall on the edge of your territory and complete its expand territory recipe. We now need 2 builder dice, but we also want wheat farms. I'm probably going to refocus my efforts now and start chopping this tree down instead. So in the meanwhile, I'm going to try and place a wheat farm somewhere around here, I imagine. Probably, well, this is kind of in an interesting location. It's gonna cause me some problems, but it's fine. Let's pop down a wheat farm there, since I need to get one. Now I need a bunch of wheat, so it's a matter of waiting. Alright, let's start getting rid of you, and we'll stop breaking that one down as a priority break order. Let's go over there. Another here. I'll take some iron, please. Builder, please, and thank you. I need another builder now. Ideally very soon. I'd also like another worker. Also ideally very soon. Okay, you're getting into a bit of a dangerous area there. Oh, really? Once more. Oh, my lord. Worst die ever. I don't want that a navigator right now. But it's down to 1 durability, so at this point, feeding it is the obvious thing to do. I could do it a little bit earlier, but we'll see how much durability this will restore. Hold right-click on a location or building to halt all ongoing operations and take back dice and resources. I believe you'll take back the entire amount as well. Wolf, thank you so much for the 20 months, mate. And Jutnik, thank you very much for the 6 months. Half a year so far. Time sure flies. It does indeed. It does indeed. Some good company amongst the dapplings. Let's see. Have we got any questions in chat right now? I'm still wondering how things like became a staple of food production. Oh, wheat. Yeah. No, absolutely. How did people figure out to gather the small kernels of these weird plants, grind them down, mix it with water, and then bake it? It's a very good question, but I imagine that the answer to that probably does exist somewhere. That seems like something that we would have a fairly good handle on, or at least some solid theories at the very least. Aavak, will you and Sheila be doing Alpha 20 series of 7 Days to Die? I really have thoroughly enjoyed watching the LTs. I have no idea on that one. That would definitely be something we'd have to have a chat about. But it's certainly not a no. Certainly not a no. We're still waiting for Aavak to play 7 Days to Die with Twitch integration. Well, that might actually be a little bit closer than you realise. We've got a decent amount of food going into winter, which is nice, but I would like a little bit more if we could get it. Notice that our peasants are quite happy because we've been expanding their population reasonably fast. What on earth are you guys doing? What? Okay, so that's giving us about 8 durability. That's not too bad, and that does make sense because it's kind of an even number there. Right, we don't need another builder right now. I said I don't need another builder. Oh my lord. However, I do need an explorer, so get to work over there, please and thank you. You can go ahead and start gathering up some wood. Let's re-roll. You, I'm going to lock you two so I can get working on the farm. Because right now, just before right now, that was ploughing. The first 2 workers plough the field. Now, 2 workers need to sow the field. And finally, once that's done, 2 workers need to, you guessed it, harvest the field. And so these 2 can go over here. Let's get you there. Shift will help with that. And I will have someone do 1 more gather over there on some food. You can gather some herbs. I want to get a decent stock of those going if I can. Oh, really? Come on now. Oh, my lord. Please give me a good dice. Okay, well, it's not a great dice, but I'll accept it. You go there. Okay, right. So, we've got a dice now that is at 0. Did you drop in there just as I rolled? God, that can be dangerous sometimes. You found an encampment. You can sometimes find encampments with which you can establish relations. Interacting with an encampment will alter your relationship level with it in various ways. A good relationship will bring ever-growing benefits. A hostile relationship will bring troubles to your kingdom. You can interact with encampments by building different outposts in their range. The possible interactions with an encampment will change based on the outpost. If you go more for military outposts, you're going to be going to war. If you merchant outposts, yeah, it is merchant outposts. You'll trade. If you go for monk outposts, you'll send emissaries. Am I into action RPGs? Yeah. Yeah, definitely Duckweed. Right. Now then. First and foremost, you need some food. Eat. Secondly, you need to be over there. We desperately need someone to help out. But thirdly, let's have a quick look at the new areas. We've got hunting grounds here, 2 more trees, some iron, more trees besides. 3 unknown encampments, but they are difficult. Exploration will be very dangerous. Only a good explorer will make it. They seem quite hostile to our presence. That is procedural and very unfortunate. Sometimes you'll end up with them being like neutral or at the very least unsure of you, but not openly hostile. That is an unfortunate turn of events. But okay. All right. We want a little bit more wood than anything else. I'm going to start gathering from over yonder. Also, let's have a quick gander. The mill is going to need a lot more trees. All right. Well, it is what it is. Alright, have you thought of streaming with Wanderbot again? I've been looking at Wanderbot shorts, and remember when I was lurking in Satisfactory, you and Wander were very entertaining. I have actually, Windy Foursome. It's definitely on our list of things to do. We occasionally stream with the Wholesomeverse live Wednesday stream, which actually will be starting in a little bit, well, in about an hour's time. The only reason I'm not joining it this time is because this I'm kind of obliged to stream, and also I'm going to be wrapping up the stream a little bit earlier than usual, so the timing was a little bit off. But we do still occasionally stream on Wholesomeverse, and I've got a project in mind in regards to future shenanigans that we might be checking out. Let's see. How very procedural. Well, I mean, you know, there is quite a lot of procedural content here, which is, I think, why they've settled on the whole roguelite idea. Do we have some? Yes, we do. Okay, let's get you in there. I would also very much like more trees, please and thank you. Okay, that's not useful for me, but you are. Okay, we're just going to get you down there and start feeding you. You're also useful. Okay, so we might actually be able to get 2 runs of this wheat farm done before we need to wrap things up. That would actually be incredibly useful for us. Right, you need to do nothing more, otherwise you will die. Please don't die. You would make the peoples very upset with me. You can go down there now and grab some noms. You're going to be locked. Using Alt to lock it because I know I'm going to need it. Not useful to me. Ultra not useful. Like the least useful role I could have gotten there. My goodness. Super duper mega ultra not useful. I can't even. Oh my lord. The game is sabotaging me! Scallywag! I need more trees chopped and more food got, if I'm perfectly honest. Okay, good. Let's get you over there. You're not going to be useful to me then. Let's get you in here and grabbing some noms. At this point, I may actually get you making another dye, perhaps. Ooh, 2 of you. We will get another roll there. Oh, my lord, really? Now all of the good died, but so close to me not being able to do anything with them. Vexing. Because once this hits winter, we're not going to be able to do anything with them. Right, you need to just go straight down here. You need to go straight down there as well. You need to be locked, ready for the next job. And you kind of, but you know what? Sure. Let's get another one in there. There we go. We've managed to complete that job, which was an important one to get done. Now I'm just going to hold these, but I am going to stop focusing on workers' dice for now. I actually need more food and more wood than anything else for a little while. Okay, perfect. Let's get the die over there. Not useful to me. We're going to lock you in position. I'll lock... Ooh, there we are. It's getting colder. It's getting colder. Winter is approaching. Soon our fields will be frozen and venturing into the wilderness will be dangerous. We need to make sure we have enough wood to burn in our steam generators. We must survive. You know what? Let's pause that there for a second. Okay. Why? Can I get... is my Alt key broken? It seemed to be. How peculiar. Right, let's lock you in. And roll. Okay, well, that's fine. We'll get some extra food. We'll get some extra wood. All of the wood's all of... Actually, we don't need any more wood right now. I wouldn't mind some extra stone. And some extra food. And... maybe some extra iron? Actually, yeah, we're not doing too badly for iron. But now it is time for us to drop down a mill at long last. So let's pop this down. Now, we're not going to be able to place any buildings along this area here because it's neighboring a settlement that we're not really in good standing with. I'm not sure if you're ever able to build anything next to a settlement. I've never managed to get them into good standing, so I just don't know how that changes things. Did anyone give you a short description of this game? Tally Fireheart, the shortest description I could offer is a abstract city survival city builder roguelite. The abstraction is in that our well, not peasantry specifically, our colonists are dice, and so it's abstract in that regard. It's kind of like a deck builder with the dice. Hey, Mintums, how you doing? Hi, Aavak. Hello, Daplings. Is this a dark Aavak playthrough? I keep hearing die, die, die. Oh, my lord. Damn it. That actually made me laugh. Right. Hey, Zeranus packs. Right, we've got this prepped, but I need more dye to actually be able to do anything with it. So I need some builders at this point. Ooh, speaking of, builder, get to work. Okay, not too bad. Need some more food, always. And now I've got 2 dye that I can't do anything with, so get in there. I'm going to lock this dye, and you can continue working on this. So I need to get that out of the way so I can get access to some herbs. Builder, fantastic. Let's get that going. This is going to keep us fed through the winter, hopefully. I mean, we've not managed to stockpile too much wheat there. Got 9 out of the 12 dye that I can keep, and we're going to be up to 10 wheat. That is actually not bad going, all things considered. You're not useful to me. Let's continue. That was a bit harsh. I do apologize. Let's continue breaking that down. I am running fairly close to my my durability limit on my dice to try and maximize the efficiency of my food. Okay. Greenham Kablam. You made him laugh. It's no longer Dark Havoc Stream. It wasn't a Dark Havoc Stream to begin with. How much food do you get from wheat? It depends. You need 2 wheat in the mill. I think you get 2 food out of it, but you can maximize. You can increase that with technology. Roguelike banished with less focus on lots of buildings and all of your people are dice. That is another... That's actually a pretty good way of putting it. Wow, okay. I'm going to bear that in mind. I'm going to try and keep that one in the mind bank for later. Song Swift Eye, thank you so much for the cheer, by the way. It's really, really kind of you. Thank you. Super, super generous Dapplings here tonight. But you can press Shift and left click on a slop. On a slop. I mean, you can do it on slop if you particularly want to, but on a slot to attempt to auto-place. Perhaps you want to auto-place slop in the slot. The first valid die or resource found will be inserted into that slot. So, for example... Oh, well, I guess I'll show that in a moment. Right, for example, are we going to have time? We actually might have time to get some more wheat here. So I'm going to push for that. The next thing I'm going to do is we're going to upgrade this. We're going to upgrade a district hall into a class hall. I'm going to pause this for a second, just so I can cover this. So right now it's a district hall. All it did was push our borders back and increase efficiency of buildings nearby. But if we upgrade it into a class hall, it will be upgraded based on the class of dice that we use to upgrade it. So in this case, we've only got peasants, so we'll make it into a peasant class hall. That will make the peasants happy, which will actually push them to the point where they'll start generating more resources, which will be very good. Takes 2 gold, though. But any dice can be used as long as they're not a mercenary. That's an important note. If you put a citizen here, you're going to make a citizen class hall. Right, well, we want to pop down some gold, and I would like you in there to work, please and indeed. Thanks. Right, you need to get some grub. Oh my lord, really? Why am I being chosen? This hurts me so much. Right, well, the next thing we're going to need, we're going to want a steam generator. We've got to gain another 4 food from the mill. We can do that in winter, so I'm not going to worry about that one too much. And that's already being upgraded. But a steam generator, now that one's a little bit more of a tricky one. We haven't got that there. Production doesn't have it, I don't believe. Got tax office, though. Steam generator, we need 5 iron. Okay, so we now know what we need to be looking at. Hello, Elthor. How are you doing, mate? I hope you're having a wonderful, wonderful day. Right, we've got possibly enough time. Let's grab a little bit more. Class districts. A class district consists of a district hall that was upgraded into a class district hall, and all buildings and locations adjacent to it. Constructing and destroying buildings in the class district affects the happiness of the dice class to which the district belongs. Some policies only affect class districts of a certain die class. That one is an important thing to remember. What is the durability on these forests? Reasonably good, actually. Yeah, we don't need to worry about those for a while. That's going to last us a long while as well. But you can see the border now. This is all peasant class district. And that is going to come in very important in a little while. I went bowling with the family and we went to an arcade afterwards. So I had a great time. Oh, that's fantastic to hear. Very glad to hear that you had a good time, mate. Right, as for building-wise, I'm going to try and get some more dye. Let's continue to break this down. Another builder, let's go ahead and grab that. Some more builders there, not exactly what I need. Okay, you need to get in there. We are going to gather... Oh, well, we've got actually 2 more mines now, actually. So we may as well grab those. Winter falls. Okay, not great. Right, this is the council. The council will convene at the beginning of every season change. And they will provide policies. You remember when we were learning about classes and how rejecting or accepting policies can affect their happiness? Each kind of dice class will be represented here that you've got active in your settlement. Right now we only have peasants, so it's only a peasant is presented, and only peasant policies have been suggested. But the more councillors you've got, the more varied the options. There are only ever 3 though that I've seen. So if you choose to accept one, you'll make the other 2. Oh, well, for example, anyone who's proposed a policy, if you accept one, you automatically refuse the others. So in the event that, let's say, we had a peasant, a soldier, and a citizen, and there was 1 peasant and 2 citizen options here, and I chose the peasant one, I would make the citizen quite unhappy because I refused 2 of their policies. I would make the peasant happy because I accepted one. The soldier wouldn't give a damn because they hadn't suggested anything. Likewise, I could skip. That might come in really useful, I imagine, if you've got a couple of people on the verge of rioting and you need to avoid making them unhappy by refusing their proposals.